Let's go live. All right.
We are going live.
We are going live. What's up, everyone? Matt Garland here. NMLS number 58700. Almost forgot that real quick. And I'm coming to you guys live with an impromptu, like literally just set this up like 2 hours ago.
True.
I posted it on my Instagram, and I've been getting a good outpour from realtors all across the country. So shout out to all the realtors. So I decided just to give you a little thoughts on why I decided. Well, first and foremost, welcome Quiana Watson, the queen of ATL Real Estate.
Hi, everybody. I'm Quiana Watson, license number 547376. Gotta be like Matt Garland.
Gotta be compliant.
But yeah, I am a realtor here in the Metro Atlanta area. I have a team, and I'm excited to join in on this conversation about what's happening, especially in the Metro Atlanta market, because I see y'all. I'm reading these posts. I'm reading your comments, and a lot of you are just so wrong, so wrong.
Yeah, no, 100%. So look, guys. So on Instagram, I've been doing this all week on my IG Live, bringing on realtors from all across the country. We had so far Omaha, shout out to Casanova Brooks. We had Chicago with Rashana Scott. We had, I think it was Columbus, Georgia. Don't get me wrong. I can't remember the young lady's name, the realtor. We had someone else from ATL. We just had a couple. We had DC. So far on IG Live, and I said to myself, you know what? Why am I doing this just on Instagram Live and just screen recording and trying to like repurpose it here on YouTube? Let me bring the conversation to YouTube so that way this information could live. And one of the main reasons why I wanted to bring on realtors specifically, because there's a lot of talk. Oh, hold on. So that's when you know you live, right?
Yes.
That's when you know you're live. The feedback. Hold on. We can't pull a Teddy Riley here. Hold on. Well, hold on. Let me make sure my audio is right. See that? Let me not get the Teddy Riley going. My bad. My apologies. Okay, now we got that fixed, right? Real quick. So I decided to put this on YouTube. So that way the information will live here. But I thought what better way than to have realtors talk about the marketplace? Because you hear a lot on the news. You have the internet experts in the comments. You know, everyone's talking about real estate is going to crash. Real estate is going to do this. Wait to buy because of X, Y, and Z. Everybody has a crystal ball and everybody's predicting something, right? But no one's on the boots on the ground like realtors. You know what I'm saying? Right. Realtors are in communities, in these streets, talking to the sellers, talking to the buyers firsthand. So why not bring you guys on to give your voice on your opinion of what the market is today? Now, everybody that's on YouTube, shout out to all of y'all. Hit that like button. Make sure you subscribe. But we're going to have Q&A. We have EYLU members here in the Zoom, so they're going to be participating in this Q&A. But Quiana, let's talk about the current state of Atlanta's real estate market as of 4/19/2020.
All right. Well, as of 4/19/2020, let me go ahead and run down the numbers for y'all, because the numbers make sense, right? These numbers matter. We got to care about these numbers. So we have 11,782 active listings, 4,848 active sales that took place, and also the average price point is now $354,000. with 4,500 new listings that came to the market, 2.3 months of inventory. So what does that mean? Let's rewind this back.
Okay.
2.3 months of inventory means for the buyer, because I know it's mostly the buyers that are like, oh, I'm about to get a big deal. When you have 6 months of inventory, that means we are in a neutral market, buyers and sellers. But when you have less than 6 months of inventory, it is a seller's market. So if you're wondering if it's a buyer's market, it's not. It is still a seller's market. We only have 2.3 months of inventory. So with that being said, I haven't seen any major changes out here. Right now, at this very moment, I got my showing assistant out showing 2 properties with 2 different clients. So she's out with some clients for me right now. I've negotiated 4 contracts this week. I've done 4 listing appointments, and they're getting their houses ready for the market. I'm saying that, and this is just this week, I'm saying that to say that real estate is still moving along. So for our buyers that are thinking this market is going to crash, the only difference that I'm seeing right now is not really kind of in the first time home buyer range price point in our area. Because Atlanta, you know, like I said, it's 300,000 basically is our average purchase price. So anybody spending 600,000 or above, that market was already suffering anyway, a little bit. Like, and I don't mean suffering, but I was able to negotiate.
It was getting soft. It was getting soft.
You know, I was like the last deal I negotiated was like 800,000. We got like 50,000 off the purchase price, $25,000 towards the closing costs, like $75,000 net from the seller to my buyer. But again, we're in a different market, so that market was already softening up.
So just for clarification, real quick, so everyone understands, right? At what price point, in your opinion, does the luxury market start at in Atlanta?
For Atlanta, I would say you got to hit about 600,000. Once you get to like 600,000 in our area, it's kind of considered more luxury, and you definitely have more room to negotiate.
So that market, probably over 2019, has started to see some correction.
Absolutely.
Okay.
They're reducing prices. There's some corrections. They're giving major incentives in that price point. So anything above 600,000, you definitely have some room to negotiate.
And that has increased since COVID-19.
Yes, it's increased since COVID. I'm getting the emails from the listing agents, you know, motivated seller, $50,000 off. Like, they are ready to push those properties.
Okay.
So I say, but if you're spending below that amount, everything is kind of location specific. So I hate to give a blanket answer, but just be mindful that that deal you thought was going to happen, like that happened in 2008, 2009 market crash. We had a lot of inventory. So let me just do this. We had this much inventory and we had this many buyers. Now we have this much inventory and this much buyers. So if you look at it like this, we still have low inventory. So the simple supply and demand from an economic standpoint doesn't yield you those same results.
Okay.
So what I personally think that a lot of buyers need to do is get you an agent that can negotiate on your behalf and get you a strong approval. Because the number one thing that's going to allow you to get a better deal, not just what's being marketed, is being a strong buyer. These sellers are afraid of all these deals falling apart. Because I mean, we all went through it. I think I faked the black when this first happened. I have so many deals on the table. Like, I had to fake the black and get to work. I had to shuffle like 5 deals to different lenders just to save these clients.
Absolutely. I said, absolutely. We all went through that.
Yeah, we all went through that. So now that we've made it through it and we know what lenders are offering, what overlays are there, this is just not a time for a first-time buyer to sit and wait and think, oh, I'm about to wait till the market crashes and get a good deal. Especially if you spend like the average $300,000, you're just going to find that not only interest rates are low right now, right?
Mm-hmm.
The overlays have already happened, but they continue to happen. So it go from 600 to 640 to 680. By the time this is over, I really am seeing, I think everybody's going to be right around 680. They don't want to take the risk.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're always going to have the lenders that's still going to have no overlays on their products. Mm-hmm. You know, if Fannie, Freddie, or FHA will buy the loan from them, then they'll write the paper, right? But I think on a majority scale, like you said, I think we're probably going to really get settled in. And this is why we're in COVID-19, during the COVID-19, I should say. We'll probably be hovering around 640 on industry average for like a FHA loan. And, you know, truth be told, I haven't seen too much fluctuation with conventional mortgages. You can still go to 620. It's just really more so government loans are having that. But lenders are adding extra overlays. Maybe they're requiring a couple more months of reserves.
Exactly. That's the biggest thing that I'm finding is they're looking for a couple of more months of reserve, right? So let me just say I'm having this conversation with a first-time buyer because I work with clients in different price points. So you're a first-time buyer, you want to spend $265 in Atlanta, right? A lot of y'all may have about $6,000-$7,000 saved, which was cool a month ago because we got 100% financing covering your whole down payment, so you don't have to pay that. Then we're in a situation where we can get about $4,000 or $5,000 from the seller, and then we're kind of meeting you in the middle. and you didn't even necessarily have to have reserves for these programs. Now I'm seeing that even if you have the credit score and you have $6,000 saved, they're like, all right, well, one, we still need to see a couple more months of reserves sitting in your account, whether you spend that money or not. So people are thinking it's going to be better for them to wait. And I feel like if you're already renting and you can get you a good deal, you may want to kind of make that decision now because guidelines are tightening up. And sellers, the prices are still increasing. They're not going down. Like the prices are still steady increasing. I had a client, I've been working with her for a year and a half. And we've been looking at the market and it's like literally every property she's interested in this year that were the same neighborhood from last year's $25,000 more.
Wow.
So you're waiting for something to happen like a crash. That can only happen in the real estate market if there was an influx of inventory. So if you think about it, even the builders, we're down on permits being pulled. That means builders are only going to sell the properties that they already invested in. So they're not even continuing to build in those communities because they don't want to have all this inventory. That's what happened back then. That's literally what happened in 2009. I've had my license since 2007. When that happened, we had all this inventory. They had no choice but to reduce the price. Now we have limited inventory, and we also still have a good amount of buyers. I was in a multiple offer situation 2 days ago.
Wow. And what was the final result?
I won. I won the offer, but the only reason I won this offer is simply because the agent was like, I know that your people would close. And we kind of had to back it up. Like I had my client putting 30% down. It's a conventional loan. So it's a completely different category. So we are more solid. So that's how I was able to win that offer because I'm backing it up with my client having a strong financial background and also kind of weighing in on my experience and all that.
So talk about that strong financial background without getting into too much details. What were we talking? More down payment, faster turnaround time?
Exactly. So the way that I kind of worded, my client is one, she's not a first-time buyer. She's an experienced buyer. She is financing a conventional loan product and she's putting 30% down. That's low risk. So you're going to be considered high risk if you are putting the regular 3.5% down. And then if they notice, because, we have to disclose, the lenders have to disclose whether it's 100% financing, whether it's going to be down payment assistance. They have to put that on the letter. So if you're using one of those programs, if I'm representing the seller, now I'm switching hats now. If I'm representing the seller and that's one of the offers, I'm immediately red flagging it because I know we got issues over there right now. So you're not strong.
Absolutely. So let's talk about that real quick, right? Because my market base is a lot of first-time home buyers, and in Atlanta or Georgia, in general, there's a lot of home buying grants, a lot of down payment assistance programs. How's the market right now for those programs during COVID-19? Are the government still giving out these grants? Are lenders still offering them in your local market?
We have a lot of different programs, but I'm gonna tell you the most popular ones and what's going on with them because there's a good group of ones that are popular. So we have the Georgia Dream Down Payment Assistance Program, which that program was called the Hardest Hit Fund. It was given $15,000 towards your down payment and your closing costs. So typically, you only had to have like $2,500 in your bank account. Mm-hmm. So typically, a lot of times when I've closed with clients with that particular loan, they were getting refunds at the closing table. Okay. But it's the hardest hit fund, so it only goes up to 250, I think 260,000. You have to have a 640 credit score minimum, the DTI, which I don't want to get too far in that, but let's just say it can't be more than 44, 45%. Mm-hmm. And what they do is the income of like $69,700 depending on the county. Let's just say that's on average. That particular program is going away. They already made an announcement, said that they are no longer funding. They had 235 more applications they were taking up until June 30th. After June 30th, they're not taking any more applications. October, they are dissolving the program.
Damn. Well, listen, if you're here on YouTube, make sure, number one, smash that like button because Quiana's dropping gems for you guys. But if you're looking to use these programs, you heard what she said. You better step on it because the market is not waiting for you.
No, they're not. And that's what I'm telling a lot of my buyers. It's like, if you was already written and you were thinking about making a purchase, this might be the time, because they were already tightening up with these programs now because they are considered high risk. A lot of the most recent loans that have defaulted, I've been speaking to like my attorneys and different lenders. They are the loans that were using 100% financing and grants because those people didn't have reserves. They didn't have money saved. And you can't have more than $20,000 saved to use the Georgia Dream. It's really created for the median, blue collar worker that they feel like that government can help. And I think it's still a great program, but it's going away.
It's going away.
By the time I checked on Monday, they may only have 150 applications left. Like, that's how they are just trying to knock out what they can. So I've closed with that program a million times, but let me, be honest. If you want to use it, you might want to use it now. You may want to get to it sooner than later. They were already delayed, like 30, 45-day closings in Georgia. It's typical for us to have a 21 or 30-day closing. Georgia Dream, they want 45, 60-day closings. So you got to finesse that just a little bit, even to win the offer when the seller is ready to sell and make their money,
Yeah, no, I definitely understand that. Now, we got a question from an EYLU member, but before I give that, I want to give a big shout out to Michael McDonald on YouTube. He hit us with the super chat, so I appreciate that. Love this content. Appreciate you guys. Thank you. Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. YouTube, if you have any questions for me to really see them, super chat your life away. But let's bring on Tiffany, who is an EYLU member, and let me allow you to talk, Tiffany. Tiffany West.
Hello, can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Loud and clear, Tiffany. How are you?
I'm doing okay. How's everyone else?
We alive and blessed.
So my question is, I pretty much have a new mortgage now, kind of inherited a mortgage. So, and I wanted to invest in Atlanta. So would that prohibit me in any type of way, being that I kind of inherited a mortgage?
Okay. You wanna take that, Quiana?
I can take it. I mean, I was like, it's kind of like a finance question, but let's be honest. If your debt to income ratios and your income can handle another home, then you can buy another property here in Atlanta. That's where most people think you can only buy one home at a time. You can buy multiple properties as long as you have the income to support it.
Okay.
Absolutely. 100% agree with everything she said. That's why I wanted her to go first. See, it's very important. I always tell you guys, having the right team members, and a realtor is a very important part of your team. And your realtor should be able to understand financing terms and be able to answer simple questions like that, because you want someone who's on the ground with you that can answer these questions on the fly, because not all the time you're going to be able to get your lender on the phone right away on point of sale. So I want you guys to make sure you're hiring good agents like Quiana who understand financing.
Right.
Tiffany.
And not to get too deep into your question, but DTI, and then also depends on where the property is, because when you're buying an investment property, it's a different down payment than when it's going to be a primary residence, unless you're going to say that you're occupying both properties. So it gets a little complicated depending on how much money you're ready to put down too. So that kind of gets a little more personal, which you don't have to share that much, but just keep in mind that your down payment, that minimum, like 3.5% FHA down payment, the minimum 3% or 5% down payment with conventional is not going to be ideal for a second residence.
Yeah, so I'll ask you guys offline, because I'm in New York now, but I was looking to, because I could work pretty much anywhere. So I would wanted to definitely start investing in Atlanta.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
Okay, definitely.
Thank you, Tiffany. Hit her on a group. Quiana's on a group too, so you can hit her directly and kind of take it from there. But we're going to get into the investment side because that's a hot topic. ATL is a great place to invest, so we're going to get on that in a second. But thank you, Tiffany. I appreciate it. All right, so let's go to YouTube. YouTube, DM Gottlieb. Thank you for the super chat. He says, I don't know if you're a man or woman, so sorry. Hello. What about those high income and can only show W-2s? Also, they average the 3 bureaus and take the highest. My DTI is pretty solid. I'm not really sure what the question was there, but you said, what about high income? It can only show W-2. I mean, that's exactly what a lender wants to see, is your W-2s. You have to document your income. And we use the middle of the 3 credit scores. So if you have all 3 credit scores, let's just say a 750, 720, and a 700, we use the 720 credit score. And if your DTI is below 43%, 45%, then you should be typically good to get approved for a mortgage. But if you want to apply, just link him. I'll put the link to apply in the description of this video once. Oh, okay. He came back with another super chat. Shout out to you. He said, to clarify, it's my first time, high income, 6 figures, 5+ years, and I'm seeking residential. All right, look, I'm not sure if you're looking to buy in Atlanta or not, but if you're looking to buy in Atlanta or anywhere else, hit up Quiana Watson directly. Quiana, real quick, how can people find you?
It's
if
easy.
they want a consultation?
I'm so easy to find. My website, you can book a consultation. My phone number is online. You can send me an email. Whatever works best for you. I prefer that you at least, even if you send me a message real quick, a quick text message so I can get you on calendar so we have a good 15, 20 minutes to talk about what your real estate needs are. Let's make it happen. So KianaWatson.com, that's my website. Quiana at KianaWatson.com is my email address. It's pretty easy to find.
Pretty easy to get her. All right, so we got another question coming in from YouTube. Shout out to Akeem Bazaar with the super chat. I appreciate that $10 super chat. So here we go. Are there any leniency with the amount of time for construction with a 203K? It's usually 6 months for completion. Has anything come up since COVID-19? Well, Akeem, thank you again for the super chat, but I talk about 203Ks on a couple different videos. But with the 203Ks, for most lenders, they are suspended because of COVID-19, because construction is not deemed essential right now, so work cannot be done. So that's why, FHA hasn't come out and gave lenders extensions past the 6 months. So this is the exact reason why the majority of lenders who were offering 203Ks suspended the program temporarily until COVID-19 is over. Now, with that being said, there are still several lenders out there and brokers that still will take in those loan applications depending on what part of the country you're in, and they still will close prior to this being done. But everything's case by case scenario, but in the long grand scheme of things, most lenders have suspended it. All right, so Quiana, with that being said, let's talk about the investment opportunity in Atlanta due to COVID-19. Airbnb right now is obviously taking a hit. Do you see Airbnb coming back in ATL post COVID-19?
I feel like
in your opinion.
In my personal opinion, I feel like Airbnb was riding high on the hog. And now with people being really concerned about sanitation, personal safety, and it was already those kind of issues, I don't feel like it's gonna come back the same way. I don't. I think Airbnb will live, but how it was thriving. I mean, Airbnb here, like the one thing I liked about it, it was a good opportunity for people to like invest and make money. But let's think about it here. You're basically in somebody's personal space. You don't have any record of how they're really cleaning and disinfecting, not like how a hotel or anything like that. People are concerned, you see? So I think if you were investing to Airbnb, you may want to rethink that and think about having that loan, slow and steady with the long-term rental, or even short-term rentals with corporations, 3 months, 4 months. But that whole 1 week, 3 day flipping and all that stuff, sometimes it just, I don't think it's going to come back the same way. I think it's going to take a long time. And by the time it does, I think something new will come along. I don't know what it's going to be though.
Speaking from a consumer perspective, I never was really a big fan of me personally going to an Airbnb when I traveled, because I've had an incident and when I'm like, nah, this is not what I like. I'd rather pay more for the hotel. I just like the whole room service. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know it's clean. I know they come in every day. Like, just for me personally.
I got a manager. You know what I mean? I got a whole corporation to kind of stream it up line with it. Airbnb, a lot of people were suffering too with Airbnb because, they got real wild down here in Atlanta. So they were Airbnb-ing other people's houses. Like, everybody that was just Airbnb and don't own those houses, y'all. A lot of these Airbnb, I be in those groups. Like, they be renting the house or renting an apartment Then they Airbnb, and on top of that, it was so many added layers. It was bound. It wasn't built on a solid structure, in my opinion. Not the way it was built. So it's not. I'm not surprised that it's crumbling. I just feel like that it had its good time, but it would never come back the same. People are too concerned about sanitation in their personal, being in spaces like that. The hotel industry is suffering. So if you were looking to Airbnb, you may want to rethink that and look into short-term and also long-term rentals.
All right, so let's talk about buy and hold. What's the three top areas you believe is set to rise, or continue to rise in ATL for investing?
Definitely go to the Pittsburgh area, West End, and in Decatur.
Okay.
Yeah. Pittsburgh, South Atlanta. It's literally right. It's basically the city of Atlanta. It's 15, 20 minutes to the city of Atlanta, 15 minutes tops. The area is gentrifying, but that area is growing tremendously. Then you look at the city of Decatur. City of Decatur is amazing. That area, I think 21% growth over there from last year. Then you're looking at the West End. West End, they went so hard, before this COVID happened. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottom, she put a hold on everybody creating new permits to build there because gentrification was happening so fast. And she was trying to find a way to slow it down. So those three areas are still close to the city or even really within the perimeter, and they have the most amount of growth. And people will rent because they're in the city. So you got young professionals that will rent those properties.
Wow, very interesting. So are these more single family properties or
yes, a lot of them are single family homes. You'll find some townhomes. You'll find townhomes in Decatur. Single family homes are going to be in the Pittsburgh area and also West End. They're doing a lot of single family homes there. They haven't really gotten into the attached homes too much.
Okay, so now let's just say, give me some numbers real quick. So if we're talking about a place, I'm an investor, I want to get a single family property to rent out. What am I talking about? Average sales price and how much is the rental income?
Well, if you want to get, it depends on the area because the price is different. So let's just say if you're going to get something 275, because you can still get something like that in Decatur. So let me just tell you that area, then 275, 250,000. You definitely want to get something. They got turnkey opportunities, but they also have some opportunities with sweat equity, which would be probably lower 220s. And you would put about 10,000 in it, and then you would still be able to save on that. So it just depends on what type of property you want. You can get your rents if you have at least 1,800 square feet. You can get at least $2,200 a month because you're in the city.
$2,200 a month on 275,000.
I would say I was saying 220. So if you're gonna do 275, then you're gonna have at least 2,200 square feet. So let's just start with if you're not doing at sweat equity. See what I mean? Okay. If you're not going to do sweat equity, you want turnkey 275 and you have at least 2,000 square feet, then I would say 2,500.
2,500. So we're talking 2,500. So let's run some quick numbers right here, right? Mm-hmm. So if we got a sales price, let's just say you find something for 225, right? Mm-hmm. Now it's a single family. So now just some quick numbers. I just want to break down these numbers for you guys. So let's just assume anyone who's watching this right now, whether you're on YouTube, whether you're hitting the Zoom chat, if you have a 700 credit score, right? You have 20% down payment. Minimum down payment is 15% if you're using a Fannie Mae or a Freddie Mac loan, right? But I would recommend probably doing 20% so that way you don't have PMI. But the minimum is 15%, right? So 20% on that is 45,000. Let's just say you qualify for interest rate, and I'm just using worst case scenario, 5% today. 30-year fixed. Now, how much are the property taxes on a property over there, Quiana?
Oh, definitely. You're going to be talking about in the city of Decatur, I would say, let's just say 3,000.
So we got 3,000 in property taxes. Homeowners insurance, probably what, around 800?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right. So now you do that. Now you're looking at a payment of $1,284. Right now, and how much was the rental? And that's what your full mortgage payment. So that's including your principal and interest, your monthly homeowners insurance, and your monthly property taxes come up to $1,284. Management fee around 10%, right?
Correct.
Now, and how much is the rental in there for this particular property will
I would
be?
say 2,500.
2,500. So you got another $250 on your management fee every single month, plus your 1,284, right? Let's do these numbers. 1,284. So you got 1,534 in expenses, and you have $2,500 as your gross rental income.
Exactly. So when you're looking at gross rental income, a lot of people like to look at it for the short term of the income. When you're really in this for the long haul with investment properties, it's not really, you're not going to make that much money per month. What you really want to focus on is the growth in the area and the appreciation, because your goal is to eventually either one, sell the property when it gets to a certain point, or refinance, pull the money out and get you something else. So like I said, if that area got 21% growth, and that was just from 2019 to 2020, you see what I mean?
Yeah.
So now that's what you want to focus on, is that growth too. So calculate that too, man.
So look, check this out. So with closing costs, you're probably talking around 5 to 6%. Let's just call it 5% for argument's sake right now. Your total out of pocket on something like that will be 56,000. Let's just call it 60,000, right? For down payment and closing costs. Now, if you're on YouTube or if you're here in the Zoom, do you have $60,000 right now, right? If you have 60K, this is a type of deal that you can invest in, and that 60K will bring you, after all your expenses, like we said, $966 a month, which is about 11,592. Let's divide that by the 60,000 real quick. That's a 19% return on your money.
Exactly. But see, the reason that people don't look at the long term, because they also got so hype on the Airbnb and, do all this with no money out of pocket, and you see what happens to that, those fizzling up. So the safe bet is always long-term rentals in areas that are growing, so you can make your profits. You get your profit margins done just off the rent itself. Then you also look at the appreciation going on. If the area is building up, there's no way you're not going to have some equity in a 3, 4, 5 year period.
Yeah, you can get all your money back within 5 years. So all the money you laid, and now this is a turnkey property. It's already renovated.
Yes, already ready.
Already ready. Rented, ready to go, no problems.
No problems. Get you a home warranty, cover the little stuff, you be good.
So we got a 19% return on your money for this property in 225. So that's pretty good cash flow.
Yeah, and those are high rental areas too. So you also got to look at the high rental areas. Everybody wants to be in the city. A lot of people can't afford to do it, so they will rent. They will rent, and so you always want to make sure that you're looking at the average rental amounts that are going to be collected in each particular area, which are reports that I send to my clients too, so we can kind of keep a gauge on what you can collect.
All right, so we got a question from YouTube, and shout out, we got about 140 people on YouTube right now, so shout out to all of y'all. Make sure y'all smash that like button, and special shout out to Ela. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I'm sorry, I'm butchering people's names today. But shout out to you with the $4.99 super chat. So she got a question for you, Quiana. Do you have real estate attorneys in Atlanta you can recommend?
Absolutely. I actually I know a lot of real estate attorneys, but I work with 2 primarily. So do you need their information? Now I work with Kimbrough Law, and I also work with the Halls Law Firm. So it's 2 different attorneys. I'm a little biased. They are Black females that run their own firms. So and they have excellent service.
There you go. There you go. Make sure you tell them Quiana Watson sent them. All right. Now we got our good friend DM Gottlieb back from this with another super chat. He said he was going to reach out to you directly. Also, DM, make sure you put you was on the YouTube live when you reach out to us, so she can know exactly who you are. But he has another question for you. He says he's seeking a townhome in ATL in the greater Atlanta area. What builders, in your opinion, do you prefer for single professionals with safety and comfort in mind? Now, she can speak on this firsthand because she's actually building an investment property right now, too.
Yeah, absolutely. So I can tell you this. Comfort, all that stuff in mind, but we also got to talk budget. When I talk to my clients, the budget is first. Because I can tell you what I think is comfortable if you buying a $600,000 townhome, and I can tell you what I feel like is comfortable if you're buying a $250,000 townhome, because it's completely different. And what's comfortable is going to be comfortable to what your price point is. But there are a lot of builders here. I would say Taylor Morrison has a really good product. I like Taylor Morrison Homes. They have some new construction properties hitting around 300s, but they're diverse in their areas, and they tend to be in the perimeter more often than not. So I really do like their product. They have a design center. You can get the quartz countertops, the upgraded kitchens, and all that stuff that a lot of times you kind of get skipped out on depending on the other builders. Lennar Homes, they make a lot of smart homes. They have a really good townhome product as well. Definitely look into Lennar Homes, and they still have great upgrades for specifically townhomes. Rockland has a really good and affordable product. So Rockland Homes, a lot of my clients were, that's 200,000, 220. They have some good products scattered outside of the perimeter, so you're not going to be in the city, but they still have a really good product. I'm seeing that they still offer quartz countertops. They still have the actual 42-inch cabinets, so you're not getting skipped on when it comes to the quality with them. If there's a builder I didn't name, it's because I know their quality has changed.
Okay, that's good to know. Now, let's talk about anybody in EYLU, you in the Zoom call, if you have any questions, make sure you raise your blue hand. And speaking of EYL, shout out to Troy from Earn Your Leisure. He's in the YouTube right now watching this live, and shout out to you because he hit us with the super chat for $10. So shout out to you, Troy. Now, repeat those names again for the attorneys you said, because they couldn't really hear you.
Kimbrough Law, and that's Kimbrough Law, and she's in Midtown. And then there's the Halls Law Firm, THAWES Law Firm, and she is in Gwinnett. But she also travels, so that's what I like about the Halls Law Firm. They will travel. They may come to your house and close. So I like that service.
Speaking of closing, right? How is the closing process now due to COVID-19? Because I one thing I can say about you women in ATL, the women of ATL real estate, right? Shout out to all of y'all. Y'all out here still moving in the streets. I mean, COVID-19 did not slow up nothing in Atlanta. I swear it's Wakanda out there for real, because y'all be out there still doing your boomerangs, sold, just closed. I'm like, yo, ATL just keep rocking.
Atlanta's we're not playing. Literally, I think the closings, it depends on the closing attorney and what's happening. We have some closing attorneys that are not allowing us inside of the closings. I did that, so I waited outside for my clients. They want to limit people inside of the actual closing. But my client still was like, oh, we wearing our matching fit, and I want to take my picture. So we like, all right, cool, we'll still do that. Some closing attorneys, we do have a few that are doing virtual. I do have 2 clients that are taking advantage of the virtual. They don't want to be around anybody. So we're going to do like a Zoom meeting closing. So right now, the good thing about Atlanta is all the attorneys' offices are considered essential and they are open for business, but they are limiting the amount of people that can be in the closing. And they are, I see a lot of them have like the clear screens in front of them. It's a little different, but we're still making the most of it and we are still closing.
Make it happen by any means necessary.
Absolutely. I was on Amazon the other night. I had to order some special stuff. I'm like, I got to make, because I like to make an experience for my clients. And so if I'm not going to be able to be there, I'm still kind of making arrangements so they can have certain things to still make them feel like it's a big deal. Buying or selling a house is important. We are making sure that we are still thriving and pushing the economy forward. So for every sale, they say it's like $83,000 towards the economy for every single person that buys or sells a home. So it makes a lot. It makes a difference.
So COVID-19, to summarize pretty much everything that's going on right now, right? From what I'm gathering from every real estate professional I speak to, is that COVID-19 really didn't slow down. I mean, it slowed things down because people are dying and people are losing their jobs, right? So we're not trying to make light of anybody's situation. But it really didn't slow down the market, so to speak. You're still selling and buying and transactions are happening.
Yes.
And sellers are not just that desperate yet.
Yeah, the sellers aren't desperate. Well, they're not desperate at all. The sellers that I'm speaking to, they're ready to sell. They know what their home is worth because they're looking to invest in something else. Like I was speaking to one, they're looking to invest in multifamily. So that's the reason for selling. I got another person wants to pick up a couple of rental properties. So they know what the value is. I think that that's what a lot of buyers, I'm like, y'all gotta understand, unless somebody's presenting you a subpar product, the best way to get what you want is to kind of meet in the middle. But this whole, I'm gonna offer you $50,000 less than your house is worth just because COVID happened, that ain't gonna fly. First of all, they're not even gonna respond to your offer. Because in our state, they don't even have to respond. They can get it and just never say nothing again. And that happened to me. I've done it. When I'm representing the sellers, I'm like, oh, I don't even want to respond. This is too low. This tells me that you are not even being realistic. The numbers don't even follow. I'm not like most agents. I don't throw a house on the market and hope it sticks. I'm running numbers. So if the agent asks me, well, how did you come up with this number? Here you go. This is how we came up with this number.
So homes are going basically still the retail prices right now in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Basically.
They're still going to basically the retail prices. Like I tell people, we only a month really in our state because we were way behind y'all. We was way behind New York. So we're only really 1 month into this, and the sellers are still not desperate. Nobody has really made any changes. I got some sellers that are motivated, and we still are marketing the same way. I got buyers that are intentional, and they don't care. They put on their gloves, they put on their mask. They are out shopping right now. So I don't foresee it changing too much as long as we have low inventory.
So what about all the people that keep saying on the internet that single family homes and residential primary real estate is going to crash?
I
Like,
don't
what do you
think
say
so.
to that?
I think that if anything, certain price points in certain areas that were already suffering, because let me just say, for example, if you were trying to buy a house in the Brookwood School District here in Gwinnett County, which is out where I'm at, first, that house, that is an A+ rated award-winning school district. Those houses are going to sell regardless and for top dollar. As a matter of fact, they don't stay on the market long, and I don't care what's going on in the economy, it's not going to change. Then we have a property in Jonesboro, right? Where we know the schools are not award-winning, but the houses are decent. You know, you teach your own kids at home, no judgment. If you want to live over there, I can help you. But you know, then if you're over there, then they were already kind of suffering. So if you have a little bit, you have a little bit more wiggle room. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. I hate that people put these blatant answers out here for somebody that I have two assistants because I have two for real support assistants because I don't turn down no clients. So where you want to live, I'm working all the metro Atlanta counties. So from county to county, I see a difference. So don't think that the entire thing is going to crumble. How about you just focus on what area you want to be in and let somebody tell you what's going on over there, because the numbers don't lie. So I spend a lot of my days now running numbers for different counties and different cities. Like I got one client, we were looking in South Fulton. The numbers told us to wait a second because the numbers look like they're evening out. So I told them to wait. Then I got another client looking in Gwinnett County in this Brookwood School District. The numbers are going up. So waiting or not, you're going to still pay more. You see what I'm saying? So let's stop giving these blanket answers and let's have specifics to each area. Price point makes a big difference. Quality of home makes a big difference. Location makes a difference. So we're not going to all come crumbling down like 2008. The areas that were already kind of suffering will suffer a little more. And the areas that were already thriving, instead of having that huge spike in increase, they're just going to have a slow, steady increase, but it's still going up. That's my thoughts, because that's what I'm seeing.
So it's just business as usual.
It literally is business as usual. I wish I could say that it wasn't, but because I keep getting people approved and because we keep home shopping and writing contracts, I have maybe out of my whole database of people that were shopping, I have 3 people that are waiting. My seller's ready to sell. We just waiting on contractors. That's what's slowing us up from listing the properties, because I don't present subpar product because I want top dollar. So we got to get painters and all that stuff, and it's just taking a little longer. But that's a lot. That's what's happening to a lot of our inventory now too. Sellers they can't get contractors. So y'all know some contractors, let me know. Metro Atlanta.
So what about, I'm glad you brought that up, because contractors obviously is very difficult for them right now. But what about getting appraisals done in home inspection? How's that been since COVID-19?
Home inspections, same as usual. They wear their gloves. They wear their masks, they disinfect, they sanitize. The only thing is they're asking that the homeowners open all the doors. They don't want to be opening doors and all that stuff. So they're asking that they open the doors and have the cabinets open. One of my sellers, we had a appraisal, and the appraisal, all he asked is if the clients were going to be there, that they kept a 6-foot distance, and if they opened all the doors and they opened all the cabinets. That we just had an appraisal on Friday. So there, people got, we have things to do. So I don't see, I mean, it's just not, Atlanta specifically hasn't shut down to that point.
Well, it's still early. I think all of us has been about a month. Yeah, it's been about a month now.
It's been a month, and I tell people it's so early to tell. I'm a numbers person, so I'm following the numbers, but you also got to follow your own gut instincts too. Because if you feel like I just want to wait because I want to be comfortable, then you need to wait. But just know, just when you're waiting, increase your credit and increase your savings, because it might not be the same while you're waiting. That's now we have all seen that to be a fact.
That is a fact. So anything particular on your market, that you can tell the earners, you can tell folks on YouTube to prepare, or whatever advice you want to give them for buying or investing in Atlanta during COVID-19?
My best advice is to make sure that you check your portfolios, make sure you know how much money you have saved, like understand your savings, understand all the money you got in 401k, and assess your risk level. I think a lot of investors, you don't assess your risk level. And for situations like this, let's just say you were the owner of a property where now the government said these renters don't got to pay for 3 months. Can you take care of your primary residence and your rentals? Because some of us have one, some of us have many rentals. You see, and you can evict them. So I think a lot of people look at the green side, but what happens when they don't pay the rent? I've had people not pay the rent before COVID. So what are you going to do? So assess your financial situation and make sure you are in a position to invest. And if you are a first-time buyer, I think that what you really, really need to do is make sure that you save your money, understand the area you want to be in, and know that whether you are renting or buying, you renting, you're paying their mortgage, you're buying, you're paying your own mortgage. And I can tell you from speaking to my clients, a lot of them were able to get deferments and forbearances and all this stuff for up to 6 months on their mortgages because they own. Now they're still paying, but it's good to know they have that option in case something were to happen to them. You just have more power when you own. And for my sellers that were looking to upgrade, I personally think, especially if you're trying to upgrade to that $600,000 plus price point, it's time to do that right now because the deals are there. By the time y'all know, people with the money are the first ones to tighten up. They're the first ones not to spend money. They are the first set to really kind of be like, take this seriously. The good thing is there's major deals out there for you. So if you still wanted to sell and move on, I think you should, because we're able to still get multiple offers because there is low inventory. There's pretty much it's low good inventory too, because buyers not just trying to buy anything. They want, if it's presented well, and I'm talking about a little paint, just the basics, but if it's deep clean, presented well, decluttered, at the very least, you're going to be able to get you multiple offers, sell your property for top dollar, and then buy your next house below value.
I love it. I love it. So we got a couple more questions from the super chats on YouTube. Shout out to Andre Hatchett with the $4.99 super chat. He said game on game with the 2 houses and 2 drips. So I guess he's bigging you up because he's loving the knowledge you're spitting right now, Quiana. So shout out to Andre Hatchett.
All right, shout out Andre. I mean, I speak from experience too. I'm not just, I be liking to be cute, but I'm not just out here. Me and my husband, we're building an investment property. We own 2 tax sale properties. We have 3 investment properties. I have my primary residence. I get it. You see what I mean? And I know when you are over leveraged, and you just got to be careful about over leveraging yourself, because the good side of investment is, you got cash flow coming in, you got the money sitting there. The bad side of that is if you are already on the brink and a renter comes up to you today and say, hey, I ain't paying for 3 months, I lost my job, and you got your own household plus this, you got to think about how it's going to affect you. That's why when I feel like when you're collecting rent, that's not extra money, actually. All my money, like when I'm collecting rent, that money is not even something I use on my day-to-day budget. The money that I earn by running these Atlanta streets and selling these houses, that's what I use for my day to day. But that money sits in reserve because you just never know what's going to happen with a property.
Reserves are key to life, and I think COVID-19 has definitely showed that, even from businesses, well, look at all these businesses, less than 30 days, they can't even
They
survive.
letting people go. Let me tell you, let me be honest with you. This is like real talk. I got 2 W-2 employees. So I got my assistant who I pay very well. Then I got my part-time assistant. I pay my assistants very, very well because I need them to be just as invested in the client as me. I sat and ran numbers, I reran the numbers, and I'm like, these are our new goals. And it's a hard decision to make. It's like you want to just fire somebody in 30 days. I'm like, we're not letting you go in 30 days, but you got to be working just as hard as me. And I'm working 7 days a week. I was answering emails last night at 9 p.m. I'm finally digging through my DMs. I found 3-4 leads in there. Like, I think we got to like at this moment, it's do or die. If you got a dream and you want to keep going, and some of us, it's not for me specifically. It's not just about the money. I could coast and be like, oh, whatever. I got this money saved. I got my, me and my husband, our household, but this is my business. And I take it seriously. This is my dream. And I'm not going to just sit back and just let it just go to waste. So I think that we all have to kind of push forward like that, even if you're looking to buy a house. Like, if that was your dream and you just never know how it's going to affect your life. Like I came from very humble beginnings. None of my family really owned houses. Only 2 members of my huge family ever owned houses. Then you add me to the mix. The first time I could see I could make $100,000 from the sale of one of my investment properties changed my whole mindset about investing and buying and why you want to own. We had never touched that type of money by just sitting back and just waiting and thinking, all right, I'm just gonna wait. What are you waiting for? I mean, for real, like, unless you're really scared you're gonna lose your job or you're really nervous, like, the numbers just don't make sense. Just the juice is not worth the squeezing. At the end of the day, if you do get over your head and you're buying a property, you can sell it and make a little profit and then move on to something else. But if you get over your head and you renting, where you going?
I agree. So we got one last question from Ula. I did pronounce her name wrong. Thank you for the super chat. She said, with building a proper team, I know CPAs are important. Can you recommend any in Atlanta? CPAs in Atlanta.
Oh, yeah. I work with this guy named Jahan Reckley. I'll send you his information. JP and Associates, he got me all the way together. Let me tell you something. Whew, I had to switch from an LLC to an S Corp. Like taxes, like how I feel about the IRS, you wasn't even with me shooting in the gym. You do not deserve this money. Like, it's literally, I could have almost got in over my head. So he is a great accountant. He does my books every single month. He's the one that convinced me to put not just myself on W-2 payroll, but also all of my employees to get that 1099, switch over to an S Corp and take care of your real business and pay your taxes. So I'll refer him to you because he don't play. He don't play with me. He even asked me about, he definitely monitors what's going in and going out. And sometimes you need that as a business owner so you can know where to put your what your expenses are, what your bottom line is. Everybody's running, making money, but if you don't have somebody keeping up and helping you keep up with your money, you don't know what your money doing for you.
All right, so we got Big Easy 333, Be Easy 333. Shout out to you with the monster super chat for $20. I appreciate the love. He says, I'm currently living in Chicago, but I'm open to invest in any state. Hypothetically speaking, if my hometown isn't the best for investment, how I go about evaluating which location within a state will be prosperous?
I'll say this. We are in a service-based industry. I'm not one of those agents that feel like if you tell me, look, I'm deciding between areas, it takes me 15 minutes to run you some numbers. You need to reach out to agents in different areas and say, I'm looking to invest. Can you let me know what the profits are looking like, what the appreciation values are looking like? The same way Matt just kind of ran those numbers down. You need to reach out to a couple of people and find out, because you on Zillow and you're not going to get the real information. That's where a lot of you messed up. But personally speaking, you in Chicago, you need to reach out to Rashana, because Chicago is lit. I'm gonna tell you now, if I could invest this, I'm looking to invest in Chicago because Chicago to me has much better returns, higher returns, more multifamily opportunities than Atlanta. That's my thoughts, like for real.
Yo, be easy. I agree with her. Hit up Rashana Scott. If you look on my YouTube page right now, we did an IG live with a Chicago real estate update, and I put it. I screen recorded it. I put it on my YouTube page. But that's what that update made me want to do it this way and Zoom and stream it because the quality is better, the sound is quite better, and we can really get questions and answers going better than I think on IG. But I definitely agree. Be easy. Chicago has some gems, man. Multifamily heaven, good rate of return. I mean, you can get
great rate of
multifamilies
return,
in 300,000-400,000 range and kill it. So reach out to Rashana Scott for Chicago. But if you want to invest in Atlanta, holler at Quiana Watson. She'll definitely help you out. All right, look, this is the last one, guys. But shout out to DM again with another $10 super chat. You just lighten up the super chats today. I appreciate it. So Quiana, he says, those of us who are high earners, is it best just to buy now, or should we wait to the end of COVID, basically? Reduce debt and add more savings? He wants to know, will the inventory still be there at the end of the year? I can answer that question. The market doesn't wait for you, or the inventory doesn't wait for you. It's here today, it could be gone tomorrow, but I'll give Quiana the floor.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. If you're a high earner and you already know that you're pretty stable and you want to identify a good product, then we need to hit the ground running. If you want to, because I'm gonna tell you, it is here today and gone tomorrow. I'm consistently negotiating contracts where I'm in the middle of trying to, I'm trying to finesse, and then somebody scoops right in behind me with the offer that the sellers want, and they move it on. So you have to be mindful that you got to figure out what you want to sacrifice to. Because if you're willing to say, I love this house, but I'll wait and I'm okay with losing it just in case I could save an extra $3,000-$4,000 off the top, because that's what I be trying to make people understand. Y'all be so caught up in this, I just want to get $5,000 off the asking price. That don't really amount to much when you look at the whole 30-year term. And you did all this waiting, and now the interest rates will go back up. I am very convinced that as soon as the market opens back up, because I hate to say it, but mortgage market is gruesome. The rate's going up. As soon as demand goes up, rates going up right now.
Look, I'm glad you're talking about it because I be trying to tell people you better get it.
Everybody's like, oh, shelter place is over. I'm ready to go buy this house for a discount. Rates gonna go up, and now you're gonna be stuck. This 3.25% rates and all these right now, that's gonna be unheard of. We're gonna be back to 4.5% like we were a year and a half ago. So I think it's you have to do a personal assessment of where your mindset is. If I were you and I am renting right now, I would buy something for sure. And if I were you and I already own something and I was in a position to invest, I would definitely get something because renters are going to spike. People, unfortunately, the people in the service industry, they weren't really a huge part of our real estate purchase and sale market anyway. And that's just kind of being honest about how the numbers rolled out. But at the same time, a lot of them will be looking to cohabitate and come in together and find a place to rent and having 2 or 3 roommates, because now we got to make it work. So again, he who owns has the power.
Right. I agree 110% with that. Listen, with everybody on YouTube, make sure you smash that like button because information like this needs to get out to the community. Quiana Watson, she already told y'all how to find her. Quiana Watson on everything, basically.
Quiana Watson, I don't do gimmicks. It's Quiana Watson.
Yeah, no gimmicks, no BS. You see how knowledgeable she is. Basically, make a long story short, COVID-19 has not impacted the real estate market in Atlanta in a negative way based off of this conversation. Homes are still flying off the shelf. Days on market are still low. Inventory is good right now. Y'all better get in where you're fitting, basically.
Right. The only difference is we do have gloves, we have masks, we have more sanitizer. There are different, you got to talk to Matt about your financing because, if there's anything, it's like a marriage. When mortgage stuff happening with the mortgage industry, it directly affects us. There's no doubt about it. So That's my biggest fear for most people. You're going to outwait your opportunity to be a homeowner. Like just for example, let me explain like one more thing. Like remember when student loans didn't count against your DTI? Remember that?
Yep.
So the whole time we tell everybody, y'all have these student loans. We know you got these payments, but go ahead and buy now. Y'all waited too late. Then all of a sudden they changed the rules. Now student loans started to count against your DTI, and it counted a lot of y'all out.
Yep.
Don't let this situation be the same thing that counts you out again. Because when we say stuff is coming, it's not that we're trying to rush you. We're more or less just trying to educate you, because I never forget why I started and why I'm doing this business. I want to make sure that we have homeowners. Like, I love every race, but I'm gonna be honest, like I want us Black people to start building wealth and stop acting like this is something that is rocket science. You have all this access to this knowledge all over the internet, whether you listen to just me, Matt, or anybody else, and you still thinking, what you thinking for? You're just gonna think yourself into not doing anything. And then it's going to be years later, and meanwhile you still renting, and you haven't put yourself up in a situation to start building wealth. And that's the truth.
100% agree, man. It's the information and technology era is here full effect. That's why I think that during this COVID time, if you are in learning zone, you need to be on this channel. You need to be on Quiana Watson's channel. And if you want to take your learning to a whole nother level, make sure you join EYL's private real estate Facebook group or EYL University. Right now, use the discount code for the annual membership. EYLMG is $149 for the year. The price is going back up according to Rashad May 1st. Just like the market, she said, changes, prices go up too. So
baby. Everybody
it's a simple supply and demand. So the demand on EYL University right now is sky high. In 2 weeks on a private Facebook group, the memberships are just like ridiculous. There's so much engagement. The folks that are here right now that's on the Zoom are all EYLU members, and they get access to answer these questions. YouTube, if you super chat, will answer your questions too. But I'm telling you, the group, I got to get off of this call because we got a movie in the book club, and we're reviewing our first movie right now at 3 o'clock on Zoom. So the engagement has been unreal. The learning, we're taking the learning a little bit different. We have a wholesaling class tomorrow at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We have a Section 8 class on Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Yeah, so like we're doing so much within the private group that you guys definitely need to join. Visit EYLUniversity.com. When you go for the annual membership, use my discount code. It's only an annual discount code, EYLMG. All right, you get it for $149. That's 60% off the regular price. The price is going up May 1st. All right, Quiana, I appreciate you. As always, the queen of the South, the queen of Atlanta. Any final parting words?
You know what, you guys? Watch the market. Make sure that you are getting real, valid information. Follow your gut instinct, but do not put yourself in this mindset like you just can't do anything right now. Move forward with your goals. Reach out to professionals that you trust and dissect the data and understand where these numbers are going. Stay safe, but invest. That's all I got.
There we go. There y'all have it. EYLU. I see y'all at the 3 o'clock call. Oh, on YouTube, EYL YouTube. We're coming back 4:30. I'm bringing on my bro, Malik Carter. We're going to talk about the Philly real estate market.
Oh, right? That's going to be a good one. That's a good investment market too.
Yep, 4:30 today. YouTube Live, everybody on the YouTube. Tell a friend, tell a friend, tell a friend. All my EYLU members, I'm going to put the updated link in the group after the 3 p.m. call. But 4:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we have the Philly real estate update. Quiana, much love. Tell Anthony that was good, and I'll be speaking to you, Queen. Thank you. I appreciate your time today.
Bye, you guys.
All right, have a good one, guys. YouTube, 4:30.